I know they move that way. Don't make me move that way. Me, I know one sleep for highway. For you cross gas, look here sideways. Me, I know come Lagos for child's play.
Listen, today I'm coming with all my energy. I'm not holding back on anything. I'll tell you why I was playing that song. Many of you, especially if you're watching a particular reality TV series in Nigeria, would have guessed why. But without further ado, attention aux migrants, c'est l'essentiel de la migration. That translates to attention migrants, this is Migration Gist.
You don't need to look farther to get information like no other. There's no need to bother, no need to bother, 'cause we have the answer. No worries, no doubt, what's migration's all about. All you need to know is right here.
If you have been wondering where I have been, migrants, I have been everywhere. I have been to France. That gist is even coming later. I've been to China. I've been on this web, all these webs. There has been a webquake. There has been an earthquake. A quickest. There has been everything. Migrants, attention. It's your host, Maria Ocheja Ebo. Welcome to Migration Gist. I believe in asking and receiving. Dear migrants, if you haven't subscribed, please just press that subscribe button for me. I need my numbers to go up because this platform needs to pay me. With that said, thank you so much for those of you that have reached out to me in the past week. You've been asking me, where have you been? Are we not going to see any gist this time? Listen, I am back and I'm sure I came back with the right energy. Thank you guys for checking up on me. For those of you that prayed for me, for those of you that asked after me, thank you so much. For those of you that reached out, for those of you that were silently hoping that I come back, thank you, I'm back now. So let's go straight into things because today's gist is hot and quick. We are in our 5th episode. Can you believe that? Honey, can you believe that? Amen. We are in our 5th episode, and today's episode is titled The 10 Commandments of Migration, or what you would call the to-do list of migration. I don't want to misappropriate anything, so let's go through the list of everything that we have to talk about today. All right, so first and foremost, if you're not following us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, now known as X, on TikTok, please, or our Apple Podcast, or you're not subscribing on YouTube, please go and follow. Please, I want you to understand that this gist or Migration Gist is not just all the sense Alolo LLC in its entirety, is not a profit-making channel or system. We really believe highly in giving back and supporting migrant students. So please, I don't want you to miss out when that time comes, or you'll not do what they ask you to do. Then when that time comes, it will be tears. No need. All right. Now, some of you have reached out to me with a lot of concerns about the name Migrants. You know, when I open the channel, I always say, attention migrants, this is Migration Gist. It looks like some of you do not like that name. But unfortunately, because some of you say things like, oh, I'm not a migrant. I came here on a this visa, like you call your visa type. I hear you. I hear all of your, what's it called? Not complaints now, I don't want to say complaints, but I hear all of your feedback. Yes, let's just fix it at feedback. But according to International Organization for Migration, it's an NGO, an international NGO under the United Nations. This here is the definition that they have for the name or the term migrant. Please sit and listen. Now, for Migration Gist, migrant is the umbrella name. And thankfully, the International Organization for Migration defines the name migrant as an umbrella term not defined under international law, reflecting the common lay understanding of a person who moves away from his or her place of usual residence, whether within a country or across an international border, temporarily or permanently, and for a variety of reasons. Now, my dear migrants, whether you left for a B1, B2 visa, whether you left for a Class E visa, whether you left for a K1, F1, H1B, VVF, whatever type of visa type, whether it's within America, whether it's the Americas, whether it's Spain, whether it's Europe, whether it's Australia, whether it's North America, where Canada is, wherever, whatever the reason for your visa type, sweetheart, we are all migrants, okay? Don't I think you need to work on your mind when it comes to that. So before you just lash out like that, whether you're seeking asylum or you came through a prestigious first class, what do you call it, the most expensive airline in its business or first class, and you're residing in a place that is not your usual place of residence, my darling, we are all migrants. With that said, migrants, let's go sharply to this roll call that I have. Because it's a roll call, migrants, we have to run through it, and I'm going to be roll calling on our beautiful, lovely countries. You know, here we love to celebrate countries, right? Today there's a reflection on my glasses. It's not that I don't care, but please, I don't want to expect that my subscribers are not empathetic. You know, many of you know that I can't really do without my glasses. So please stop complaining about the reflection. Let's enjoy ourselves. Love you, mean it. Let's go into the roll call for this week or the month of July, especially for the ones that we've missed while I was away. So we have Palau celebrating Independence Day, July the 9th. July the 9th as well, South Sudan is celebrating Independence Day. So Palau is celebrating Constitution, South Sudan, independence. The Bahamas, where we all love going to spend that holiday, even though some of us like me have not been there yet, amen. Yeah, so they're celebrating independence on the 10th, and then on the 12th we have Kiribati celebrating Independence Day on the 12th as well. Saint Martin celebrating Fête de la Fédération on 12th. Sao Tome and Principe celebrating Independence Day. One of my favorite couple just came back from Sao Tome and Principe. And then Tonga is celebrating the official birthday of King Tupu the 6th. King Tupu the 6th. Tonga, the country Tonga. Montenegro, I must say something about Montenegro, and if you are from Montenegro, please do not be offended, but when I was doing my research about Montenegro, I did not like what I was saying. And the name Monte and Negro, really? Anyways, let's move on to the next. France, which I will talk about shortly, is celebrating Fête de la Fédération. That will be the 14th of July. 14th of July, a couple of countries are celebrating Fête de la Fédération as well, and for obvious reasons. French Polynesia, New Caledonia, Saint Barthélemy, Saint Martin, Saint Pierre and Miquelon, and then Wallis. Then on the 14th, Wallis and Futuna is celebrating Bastille Day. Bastille Day is their own Constitution Day or Independence Day, like we have for other countries. So this 14th of July, these countries celebrate Fête de la Fédération, but apart from Wallis and Futuna, which celebrated Bastille Day on the 14th. Now let's move to other countries that celebrated their days, whether it was Constitution, flag, or independence. Happy Independence Day, Colombia. Colombia celebrated Independence Day. Belgium celebrated National Day. Brunei, if you know me very well, you know I love the Sultan of Brunei, celebrated National Day. Egypt celebrated Revolution Day on the 23rd. And then we have Puerto Rico celebrating Independence Day, celebrating Constitution Day on the 25th. It may interest you to know that Puerto Rico is a U.S. island, even though it's somewhat in South America, and they also celebrated the US Independence Day, and for obvious reasons. Liberia, if any of you have watched Blood Diamonds with Leo, what's his name again? DiCaprio. What's that name again? Yeah, him, that fine Caucasian guy with blue eyes. Yeah, so Liberia celebrated Independence Day on the 26th, Maldives as well, 26th. Foundation of the Somali Republic was also celebrated on July the 26th as well. Faroe Islands, we have celebrating Olay Fest. You see, I'm Nigerian, so when I saw this, the first thing I said was Olay Fest because, I mean, it looks very Yoruba. And then Morocco celebrating Throne Day, July 30th. And lastly, Vanuatu celebrating Independence Day, July the 30th. Listen, I know that was a mouthful, that was roll call. Which of the flags that you saw interested you the most in this roll call? Let's go on to the next thing that we have to do for today, which is, no. Before we go to the next thing, you see that thing that French pulled during the Olympics? If you know me very well, you know that I'm an Olympic girl. Like, I love watching that parade of athletes, like seeing all those beautiful flags. That is why we celebrate Independence Day on MigrationGist in the first place. I love all those beautiful flags, all the, the uniforms that the athletes wear. But this Olympics was really different. From the LGBTQ parade that was mimicking or mocking the Last Supper, for those of us that are Christians and openly practice Christianity, we found that really offensive. But see, like I told you people, migrants, I've been everywhere. There has been a webquake. I have been settling fights. I said, Macron, why did you allow this to happen? Mrs. Macron, why did you allow this to happen? Pourquoi? I was there speaking the French that I cannot speak. I was settling all the fights. But on a more serious note, it was offensive. People didn't like it, and of course I didn't, but I did not watch that live. I'm always interested in the athletes parade so much. I was watching when Serena Williams got on that boat with her other co-athletes, when they all coordinated in their red on the boat, small time watching it. Some of my friends started texting, oh my God, they are putting the third world countries in smaller boats, and the Americas and the Australia and the Anzac, oh, they're putting them on better boats. Oh, their boats look like the Cadillac that they just made this year, and everything nice was just going on in the airspace. And all I just wanted to do was just to enjoy that athlete moment, to celebrate people that had been maybe their whole life, this was what they wanted. Just to celebrate, that was what I was more about. I'm not trying to discredit or belittle, the other mockery or whatever, but I'm so sure that the French should have tendered, or the numbskull that put that parade together to mock or mimic the Last Supper should have put out their apologies by now. So you heard me talking about, Ozumba Mbadiwe. For those of you that know, I'm not really so much of a Big Brother fan, but this time the Big Brother Nigeria has started. And of course, I'll always represent my home country, even though I don't like it or love it all the time. But the Big Brother Nigeria season 9 started yesterday, my time, which was Sunday, the 28th. And I was very, very happy to see these twins that I've been following. I've been following their career, I've been following their business. The Mbadiwe twins, Osi and Ozi. And let it be written, stamps, cracked, birds and hunt on the sands of time that I am rooting for the Mbadiwe twins. Listen, I don't know why, whether they win or not, I am rooting for them so bad. I'm just so happy to see them because I've always followed their story of intellect, of family, of charisma, of camaraderie. Like, I don't know, they're such a touch point, like an awe point. Like, I admire them really well, and so I'm very happy that they are on Big Brother Nigeria. Now let's go into our RASQ for today. Like you can see, the plot is thickening, migrants. Today's gist, it's not like any other one that you've heard, so you better stick around and stuff for me. Let's go to our RASQ for today. Our random act for today is of sharing a question, and my question is, why are hurricanes always named after women? Why? To be honest, this is not a feminism war, this is not a feminism manifesto, nothing like that. But why are hurricanes always named after women? I'm not smiling. But let's go straight to our gist for today, which is the 10 commandments of migrating, or the migration to-do list. Migrants, let's go. Let's start with number 1. At number 1, we have, and you guys know I'm a list girl. I love lists. Like I said, concentrate not on the reflection of my glasses. Migrants, concentrate not, but listen to what will help you and your other people's life that plan to migrate. Now let's go to the very first point that I have today. And the very first point will be research. Say what? Research. Somebody say research. Research. Migrants, research. I put that as number 1 because a lot of people, myself included, we've migrated with that. Oh, had I known, if I had known that, hey, I wish I knew that. Today, yeah, migrants, you and any other person that you know that is wanting to migrate, you don't need to, had I known anything. Please do your research. You know yourself more than anybody or any embassy will. So do your research. What is it that I want? What can I not stand? What will I? Just do your research. If you're coming here on a B1 visa, do your research, even if you're just coming to visit. And a migrant is not, like in the US, for example, they have migrant and non-immigrant visas. So whether you're coming here as on the immigrant visa or the non-immigrant visa, migrant, please do your research. We will develop this point as we move forward. Number 2. At number 2, I have prefigure it out. And I would explain this with an example or an analogy. Let's say, for example, you are an immigrant and your name is Jumoke Ekweme. Now, you're Jumoke Ekweme from Ghana and you want to go to Abu Dhabi to live the rest of your life, because as Jumoke Ekweme, you really love, while you're in love with Accra, you really want to live in Abu Dhabi. Now, you get to find out, in Abu Dhabi, what do I like? What do I see myself doing that's very profitable? Because migrants, what we're not going to do is to leave our home country hungry or seeking for greener pastures and then not prefigure it out. So migrants, what we want to do is we want to prefigure it out. We want to know that, oh, okay, my name is Jumoke, this is what I can't tolerate. When I go to Abu Dhabi, I know that being a medical doctor or being a dancer is what is going to propel me to get those dirhams that I want, or whatever currency it is that they use in Abu Dhabi. So you want to get that dirham or the legal tender in that country that will make your migrating meaningful. Prefigure it out, Jumoke Ekweme or Tony Abraham, whatever your name is. Prefigure it out. What do I want to do? What career do I want? Do I want to continue the career I started here? Do I want to do another career? Do I just want to do this skill-based thing? Do I want to prefigure it out? Do your mapping. Prefigure it out. Let's move to number 3, migrants. So at number 3, study. Study. Okay, my name is Tabayek Fikfik. I live in Ethiopia and I want to move to Jamaica, for example, but I don't want to move to Jamaica and only twerk my waist. I want to go there and be a banker. What does it mean to work in Jamaica? What does it mean to live there? What area do I want to live? Let me give you a very vivid example. When I was moving here from my home country in Nigeria, I knew I was moving to the state Texas. I knew I was moving to the country, the United States. I knew I was moving to the state Texas. In Texas, I knew I was going to live in Dallas. Within the Dallas DFW Metroplex, or within the Dallas area rather, I knew the city I was going to live in is called Richardson, and the county under that city is called Collin. So, migrants, I say this to say that when you do your research, when you prefigure it out, study the area. And with study, especially to my African migrants, I'm going to say this, especially the men too. A lot of you people, or a lot of African migrants, it's not written on anybody's head, but you know these beliefs that you have from home. And yes, I'll say it as it is. A lot of you guys are somewhat homophobic. You know that, oh, you don't like the whole LGBTQIA thing. It really would not make sense for you to go and live in a New York or a California, for example, or a Boston, Massachusetts. It won't make sense for you. Now, not because whatever it is that I'm not judging anybody, but I'm saying this as per MigrationGist is concerned. It won't make sense for you to live there or raise your children there because it's not your belief. Now, it will make sense for you to raise your children in a Dallas, for example. Okay, if you're raising your children in Dallas, oh, okay, what small church can I go to? Or Mississippi, or it could be anywhere in the South, because they are very Christian inclined. And it's safe to put this out there that if you were born and raised in Nigeria, mostly the ways of South, like not South America as in the continent, but in the South, within the Southwest area or the South at all in the United States, is where you would be kind of better off, because that traditionalism and that cultural precedence and all those things in between the bread and the butter, you would most likely find yourself at home or at peace, right? In the South, in a place like Texas, in a place like Tennessee, in a place like Mississippi, and neighboring states. Now, these three things, research, pre-figure out, and study, are the bedrock of the rest of my points 4 to point 10. Now, let's go to the fourth point. The fourth point is in itself a commandment. Thou shalt not get comfy. I'm gonna say that again. Thou shalt not get comfortable, honey. Do not get comfortable. If you leave your home country to where, remember, you've taken your time to study, you've taken your time to prefigure it out, you've taken your time, right, to do your research. Please don't get comfortable. And in not getting comfortable, please listen to your heart. What do you want? Let me give you an example. When I came here, everybody was on about the fact that I should be CNA. CNA stands for Certified Nursing Assistant, I think, yes. Or be a nurse practitioner or something about nursing, because all the immigrants, that come from Africa and Asia, we really don't have any ambition other than being a doctor, an engineer, and a nurse. Those professions they are good, they are sweet and dandy. But migrants, what do you want to do? If you want to be an architect and you come here and practice medicine, maybe you might do well in school, but you'll be like Dr. Death of, I think it was Baylor, Scott and White. I'm not sure about that fact, but I'll correct myself and put it in the scroll bar. Of Plano. His name is Dr. Death. Dr. Death came here from whatever European country he came from, and he was killing people. And it took him killing up to over 100 to 200 patients for people to know that, oh, this guy, number one, is not passionate about this medicine. Number two, he's killing all these people. And number three, all these people had died before anybody could say Jack Robinson. So please, so that you don't cost people's family member, their family members' lives, please do what you want to do and do it well. You didn't come from your home country to come and count how developed your new environment is, migrant. So please, thou shalt not get comfortable. Now, let's jump to number 6. And number 6, my advice is that you save as if you're storing treasures in heaven. It's an advice. Don't forget, as the point states, where a man's treasure lies. So what? Say it. I can't hear you. Where a man's treasure lies, that is where his heart is. So, like I gave with Jumoke Ekweme initially, if you're living Accra, you've been saving in cedis, in the Ghanaian cedis, for example, and you're moving to Dubai, that's your cedis. Please be saving it in dirham. If you have rupees, like the Indians, right? If you have rupees and you want to come to America, or you have rupees and you want to go to Canada or Australia, you know that those are your rupees, those are your Indian rupees. You should be saving them in the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, or the US dollar, whichever one. So you get the point. I hope, migrants, you get the point. If you want to move from, I don't know, maybe you want to move from Ethiopia to Turkmenistan, you know that you should be saving that your Ethiopian legal tender, that your currency in Turkmenistan's currency. So save as if you're storing treasures in heaven, right? Now, we'll come back to this number 5 point because we are going to see it again down the line. But number 6, my dear migrants, especially if you're a man, I'm so sorry. I really am, but this advice is for you. I'll take off my glasses so that you see it in my eyes. Number 6, please resist. Migrants, please resist. It's very tiring how some of you, I mean, my kids are on the way, but it's very sad to see how some of you pack all your entire family, move to a country that you've migrated to, and please, I'm not broke shaming anybody, but this is my experience, this is my own story, and I'm free to tell it because under the United States Declaration of Human Rights Act, I have the right and the freedom to expression. So, resist. Resist the urge to impress anybody. Resist the urge to lie to yourself. Resist the urge to be stupid. Resist the urge to not have a brain. And I'll explain why. You see, a lot of my male friends, because I have a ton of them, some of you will reach out to me, oh, my guy, Uche just moved to Houston 2 days ago from Nigeria and he has already bought a Bentley. You don't know Uche's story. Uche might have been saving all his life for the past 16 years, and when he came, he followed my 3 steps, he did his research, he prefigured it out, he studied, and he was saving his naira in the US dollar. And Uche will come, yes, he'll buy Bentley. Yes, his wife and children will be comfortable because Uche has done his research. But you, Nana, you'll be calling me, hey, Uche came 2 weeks ago and he has bought Bentley and Mercedes-Benz for him and his wife, and his children are going to private school. You don't know Uche's story. Resist, resist, resist. Some of you will see jackets, Gucci jackets, Louis Vuitton, Christian Louboutin. You'll see it online. You'll go and wear it and you'll be taking picture. You want to impress person that is not looking for impression. Then after you finish impressing them, you now start calling those of us that are managing our $22. Please, can you send me $100? Please, can you send me $50? I can't send you because me too, I'm managing my kuli and my gari. For the fact that I'm not posing with that my Louboutin shoe that I don't have doesn't mean I don't want to. I'm managing myself. So in the brackets, I'll not only say resist, but please manage yourself. Cope with yourself. Don't try to impress anybody. Resist. Migrant, I say resist. Again, I say resist. Resist the urge to live be above your means. You don't need to impress anybody. America is not built that way. Because I know a lot of my male friends, I know they have this problem. You will be flashing all the flashiest cars in the world, but every day you are knocking on my door. Una get rice for fridge. You know Sabi cook rice for your own house? I don't mind giving you my rice or my beans or whatever it is, or my indomie. Whatever I cook, I don't mind. But please, resist. Migrants, resist. Like I said again, research, prefigure it out, and do your study. Yeah. Let's move to the next point, number 7. How much is enough to save? Remember on number 5, we said where your treasures are, so your heart, that's where your heart is. So no amount is too small. Please believe me, especially in this current dispensation of economic downtime and economic turmoil, no amount is too much at all. If you're able to save $50,000, save it. If it's $10,000 you're able to save it. If it's, and I'm using dollars like just as the across-border legal tender, you know. So if whatever it is that you're able to save, kindly save it. Resist the urge to impress anybody. I've said that one before. Oh yeah, now. So no amount is too much for you to save. This moves us to our next point, which is number 8. Master a skill. Coming from Nigeria, for people like me, I did not have to work. Sometimes I didn't even have to work any job. But here you find out that you have to work 2 jobs if you have a craft or a skill. Let's say you have 2 cybersecurity jobs and you know how to tie gele or do makeup. You know that extra $500, that extra to $200 that's coming into your account every other Saturday or every Saturday with your 6-figure job, it is something. So please, apart from saving, you know, apart from mastering a skill and how much is enough to save, like I said, no amount is too much, like we agreed in number 7. Number 8 again, master a skill. Master a skill. Master a skill. It is only, and I wonder why. I really wonder why. It is only countries, you know how in Nigeria, maybe you're a janitor or maybe you clean a space, you get your money, but people look down on you. America is not like that. Nobody has time to look down on you. Nobody has time to look down on you. Have you ever sent, I don't know about you, but I've never sent money to anybody and they said, this $10, it looks like $10 from somebody that used to pack sheets. Or, oh, it looks like $10 from tying balloons. Oh, this is your $500. It looks like $500 of somebody that is not a lawyer. Lies. Anybody you send dollars to, they are collecting your money. Nobody cares. So please, migrants, it doesn't matter if you're coming to the US, if you're going to wherever you're migrating to, please learn a skill that will be relevant to that in that place that you're going to. This leads me to my 9th point, and we've talked about it in your how much you would save. Save your money internationally. Whether you're migrating from America to Nigeria or wherever you're going to, listen, Migration Gist is for all of us. Save your money in that country's currency that you're going to. Now, if you have a more valuable currency, you really might not save, but you also want to understand how the currency of the country that you're going to works as well. So save your money internationally, save your money internationally, save your money internationally. This brings us to my very last point, which is my 10th point. This point is not a commandment, it is an advice. No place is utopia. Where is utopia? As a Christian or as a believer, as somebody who was raised with the tenets of the perfection of Christianity. And when I say perfection, I don't mean that you being the Christian, that you have it smooth sailing in life. No. Just, having a supreme being knowledge. I really want to encourage all of us, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Jewish, it doesn't matter. On this God's green earth and in other 9 planets and with all the planets, there is no utopia. No place is perfect, my darling migrants. No place in the world is perfect. The only place that promises us perfection is the kingdom of God Almighty, like me and my fellow Christian brothers and sisters will put it. My Muslim brothers and sisters will say Jannah or Al-Jannah. Those are the places. I don't know what you call that perfect place in your own religion. And please, I'm open to learning in the comment section. No place is utopia. No place is Al-Jannah. No place is heaven. No place on earth is paradise. So migrants, if you're willing, looking, and wishing to relocate, I wish you all the best, and I hope that out of these my 10 points, which I'll quickly run through. Number 1, we said do your research. Number 2, prefigure it out. Number 3, study. Number 4, comfy, thou shalt not be comfortable. Number 5, treasure. Where a man's treasures are, that's where his heart is. Number 6, resist. Number 7, how much is enough to save? The question. Number 8, master a skill. Number 9, save your money internationally. And number 10, no place in the world is paradise. Paradise only exists in heaven. Migrants, which of these 10 points is your favorite? And for my already existing migrants, which one did you do when you were planning to migrate? And those of my migrants that are pre-existing, which one do you think you would adopt the most that will favor you? Please now leave them in my comment section or continue the conversation on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter, in the comment section on YouTube, and of course on TikTok. Migrants, it's Migration Gist. Now, again, in our workplace behaviors, we had a winner. I said, what is the meaning of molybdenum? And somebody came through with the answer. Your name is Ayo Lola. Sorry, let me not bite my tongue. So the name is Ayola Bello minus Y4C, or is it hyphen Y4C? Again, is Ayola Bello hyphen Y4C. I don't know if you're Nigerian. I'm just being ignorant and pronouncing your name the Nigerian way. If you're Hispanic, because I know Hispanic people bear Bello as well, but they call it Bejo. So wherever you're from, send us an email, infomigist@centalolollc.com, and I'll be more than happy to reach out to you and then process your payment. You are our $20 winner. So please send us a message again. It's infomigist@centalolollc.com. If anybody knows that they want to reach out to us for partnerships, you want to come on this show, you want to have a sit down with us, you want to see, listen, the list is endless. Please reach out to us on infomigist@stalolollc.com. Do not forget to follow us, to favorite us, to like us, to love us, to comment at us, everything you want to do. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, now known as X, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and of course here on YouTube. We're here for you. I have been your host for today. My name is Maria Ocheja Ibo, and until I come your way next time, these have been the 10 commandments of migrating. I be on Ozumba Mbadiwe. Congratulations to everybody that is watching, and I really hope that the best winner emerges. Don't forget, I will always encourage you to also relocate to the change that you deserve. My name is Maria Ocheja Ibo for the 100th time. Bye bye. You don't do. Bye.